Good morning, early birds. I am here. Well, it's raining outside, or got the wrong sign up there. So what I was going to say, I would just notice that in the background, but look at what I have. I'm starting my morning with new flowers. Not only do I have new roses that I got from Kroger, thank you, for a really great price, $7 for a dozen, which is a great price, but I took these. These are called Black-Eyed Susans. I took the Black-Eyed Susans. I obviously had to rearrange this a little bit and move this over, but I can't remember why. Probably because I had to put my chair like this more. There we go. Okay, so I am here and we have Science Week this week. But before we get to Science Week, I remember that you are about ready to start school, aren't you? And that maybe you might want, I don't know what's going on right here. Maybe you might want some tips on getting back to school to make school and this time of the year really fun and exciting. I did splash water on my face this morning. And I've been up for a while, even though it doesn't look like it. Okay, let's see what we have to train our brain for school. Remember yesterday I said I was using a whole bunch of resources from different places, and I didn't tell you, I told you about them, but I didn't show you them because we were outside and I didn't have them. So I didn't have my cute little chalkboard over here. I didn't have my background. Hold on. Let's get that mess off of there. Dried up from the flowers yesterday. And there are, although I didn't finish the pots yet. Because I haven't gotten the Spanish moss for the top of those pots right here. But there are the flowers that we made in the background. And I have the Just Be Awesome sign. And I've got the little pot that my son made for me. And I've got the little plaque that my other son made for me. So I am ready. Let's read a little bit from... Well, I thought I'd let that run. We switched cameras. Camera 2, please. And then camera 2 had that loaded up. I don't even know. Actually, that's camera 73. I have 74 cameras as of today. That was camera 73. Okay, so I put this on and I did remember in my late start to bring down my glasses. So I grabbed my scarf at the last minute. My glasses at the last minute. I put this in my hair at the last minute because I was working. That's what I was doing. I woke up late. Had the alarm set. I slept in a little bit. Okay, let's look at this. Train your brain for school. Try these brain boosters and have a great school year. This again is from the Highlights magazine, which I love. I got these, a whole bunch of these for you guys from Commerce Township Library. And yeah, get to the library. They have awesome things there. This is September 2020. The issue September 2020. Get ready. Get ready. Time to go back to school. And they also had, look at this, furry book covers. I saw them. They're on the page right before this. And they look pretty cool. Or two pages before this. And they look pretty cool. Look at that. So getting ready for school 2020. Boy, there's a lot of stuff going on in 2020 if you remember. I don't even know if you guys went to school in 2020. No, you did. You didn't go to school in 2021. I remember. No, 2020. 2020. I had a couple issues in 2020, as everybody did, with my husband. So that's why I remember. I usually don't remember dates. Let's go. All right, let's pull it up here so you could read it along with me if you want to. Okay? You're almost ready for the first day of school. Teacher's name? Check. Do you know your teacher's name? You should. Backpack. Check. Supercomputer. Well, yes. Hello, of course. How can I be a super student without a supercomputer? I hope so. You have one last thing to get ready. Your brain. The most important tool you will need for school is inside your skull, and it needs lots of care. A good night's sleep and a positive attitude can warm it up for paying attention, remembering your homework, and learning new facts and skills. Here are more tips and tricks to help train your brain for school. Think a thankful thought. I love this article. Thank you, Highlights. I love this article. They are so on it. They're so smart, is what they are. They are smart here at Highlights. Make your first big thought in the morning a grateful one. Who or what are you thankful for? I don't do that, and I'm gonna try and start doing that. So I am thankful that I am teaching this class. I cannot even tell you how grateful I am in the midst of all this chaos. I am so grateful I am here on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and that I decided to do this no matter what. I am very grateful for that. I am. Think of someone or something that makes you smile. I guess it's me. Be grateful to have that person or thing in your life. This starts you off with a good outlook and sets the tone for the rest of your day. That's a good tone to start with, don't you think? Being thankful? I do. Get tapping. I love this article. It's so smart. Tap your hands and fingers. Get your toes going too. March your legs. Twist your torso. Roll your shoulders and stretch your neck. While moving, think about how well your body works for you. That's something I did not do today. Stretch out. I was running around, hurrying up. I hate starting my day hurrying up. But if it's for you, I don't mind. It even breathes for you. Your body breathes for you. It does. It does. Your cells, they're always moving. That's what we're going to talk about today. This makes your brain believe that you love and appreciate your body. That's so smart. This article is so smart. It helps us not be so hard on ourselves when our bodies aren't perfect, because none of our bodies are perfect. None of them. Did I remind you? I still haven't got the snaggletooth fixed. None of our bodies are perfect. Now give yourself a hug, because I can't give you one from here. I wish I could. I do, because I've seen lots of kids out there and they are talking to me and I just love it. I do. It gets me tapping is what it does. Sing or hum. Well, you know I always do that. Not with the most beautiful voice, but sometimes I have a nice voice. Sometimes I do. If it's not, first thing in the morning and, you know. Make up a song while you're walking down the street. The words don't even have to make sense. Creating your own music releases chemicals that can make you feel happy and boost your body's fight against germs. I just love that. Somebody I just heard was saying, and it was Will Arnett, who I just found out and is a funny guy. And he was saying that no, it wasn't Will Arnett. It was an old man. Never mind. It reminded me of Will Arnett. Sorry, Will. And he was saying that there's research there. He's from North Carolina, and he is working in making his own herbs and tinctures and things like that. But he was saying that there's research out there of people just simply, so they went and they put a cap on their head, which looks at their brain, inside their brain. And so how do we know? How do we know that your body releases chemicals that make you feel happy when you sing a song? How do we know that? Because we've had people sing songs when they put these little contraptions on their head so that they can measure the area in your brain, actually here, right about there, that makes you happy. One area. That's not the chemicals, though. But there are chemicals there too, right? Released by different areas in your brain, right? So we could see those different areas. So that's what they do. They put like this cap on their head, but they showed people who were walking through a city, cap on your head, and people that were walking through places like this. This is why I always say, it says in the Bible that you get to know your Creator when you are around the things that He's created. That's a wonderful thing, right? And I said it. That's the reason why I love living where I live. To give me, because I have the water and I have the beauty and not too many neighbors right there, but there are neighbors, right? So I have people, but I have the nature there. And I love being in nature. So they put that cap on their head and they had people, I don't know what they did because I didn't read the article. So maybe they imagined walking through, but maybe they had put the cap while they were walking through New York City. I don't know. I don't know how you can do that and still be hooked up. I'm not sure. Or I would imagine that they imagined it, is what I think that they did. So they imagined walking through, I don't know. Or they looked at a picture of them, or maybe in the cap thing that they were doing, maybe they were doing it virtually, walking through a city virtually. That could have been, right? They could have done that. Or walking through beautiful nature scene, right? Virtually. Maybe they did it that way, right? But anyway, they had happy chemicals when they were walking through the nature scene compared to when they were walking through the city. It's amazing. It's amazing what good scientists do. It's amazing. Maybe you want to be a good scientist because there's lots of bad ones. There are. Not bad like you're naughty, but they are naughty. If your heads feel stuffy, try humming a tune. Humming can increase the airflow through your sinuses. I didn't know that because I don't read these. I start reading them and I'm like, oh, good. They're good. And then I want to save it for here because I like to make comments. If I read them beforehand, then I'm reading them like, rah, 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 right? You know what I mean? Do you? Huh? Do you know what I mean? Kind of. Like I'm reading it like monotonous. Like monotone, just like this. Make playlists of your favorite songs on your music player or in your head. The music you love can help you get pumped up for school. I do that. Now that I always did. Made playlists, and if I knew that I was going to have a hard time that day because I was going to talk to my boss for some, or more likely I had to make a presentation at school, right? If I had to make a presentation at school, I used to make a playlist and listen to my favorite songs. I did. The music you love can help you get pumped up for school. It can also help you wind down at the end of the day. That's amazing. Smell something nice. The nose, read it like this. Or you could, or I could put it like this, right? There we go. The nose has a strong effect on the brain. Scents that bring happy memories to mind can make you feel good instantly. Like Christmas scents for me, instantly. I keep pine cones in my car that have the Christmas scent on them, that have the pine scent on them. I do. I keep them in my car. I keep them over there. I keep them over there. And I keep them in my bedroom. I do. I can go get them right now. A bag of pine cones that have the pine scent. I love things that smell really good. And it reminds me of Christmas. It reminds me of the holidays. And it makes me feel good. Sometimes people don't like the holidays, but I do. I'm a person who likes the holidays, and I'm happy about that. Identify a few scents that are easy to find and give you the warm fuzzies. Maybe a soup that reminds you of a loved one, a spice from a favorite holiday food, or a drop of sunscreen that sends your mind on a mini vacation. Oh my gosh, of course. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gotten ready for a vacation and your mom tells you, don't forget to pack the sunscreen, and you go get the sunscreen and you smell it and it reminds you of vacation? This is science, folks. This is science. That's amazing the way our minds work and our memory works. And also, not only that, but how you work to get your mind to work for you. How you work to get your memory to work for you. What do I mean that you're working? You're smelling something nice, or you're thinking about scents. That's work. You have to think about that. In the morning time, think a thankful thought. That's work. You have to try and do that. So you have to do a little bit of work in order to get your brain trained. That's the work part. That's the work part, right? So you are doing a little bit of work in order to get your brain to work. That's not a rhyme. That's just repeating. You have to do work to get your brain to work. Let's think of a different word. Work. Not twerk. Sing or hum. Did I already say that? Of course I did. Smell something nice and then breathe deeply. Take a minute to sit up or stand up straight and take a few deep breaths through your nose. And you know, you can't breathe deeply all day long. You'd probably faint. You probably would pass out if you were like, if every breath was like that, first of all, what would you ever get done, right? I know people worry. My husband used to worry about his breathing all the time. He used to think of things to worry about. Yeah, which is why he's weird. Yes. Wah, wah. And let your body tell you, but sometimes if you're anxious or stressed or you don't feel good or you have a headache, then you tell your body. Let your body tell you when you need sleep, right? Let your body tell you how to breathe, right? But when you're anxious or nervous, you tell your body. You tell your body, right? Oh, I better take a deep breath now. Right? Helps you relax. Okay. Take a minute to sit up or stand up straight and take a few deep breaths through your nose. See, I'm already lightheaded. I've taken too many deep breaths. This sends more oxygen to your brain and helps it work better. That's what you feel when you feel like too many deep breaths. That's oxygen in your brain, and oxygen is really good for your body. Really, really good for your body. It's good for your brain to get things moving. It's good for your heart to get blood moving. You want oxygen in your blood. You want oxygen-rich blood. How do you get that, Dr. Feravich? How do I get oxygen? Here's my $5. Can I have oxygen-rich blood? Oh, save your $5. Take a deep breath, and you'll get oxygen-rich blood. Awesome, right? Awesome. What was the other one I was going to say? Blood, lungs, brain, more oxygen. I know what I was going to say. And, looking at those lights blinking, and your digestion. Yes. When you get, think about it. Think about if you have bubbles in your gut. Guess what we're not going to get to today? Cells. What if you have bubbles in your guts? What do you think would happen? Well, besides that, besides that part, besides the airy part, What do you think would happen if you had bubbles? And it does. If you have bubbles in your gut, you know it's coming out one end or the other, right? But if you have bubbles in your gut, like good oxygen, oxygen-rich blood that's flowing through your gut, what do you think would happen to the walls of your gut? It's like foaming bubbles, right? It's like that commercial of foaming bubbles. What do? They eat away at the dirt. What do you think would happen if you had oxygen in your gut? Right? That's probably what would happen. Oxygen, great for our bodies and our brains, which, by the way, is part of our body. So that was redundant. Redundant means I repeated myself. Good for your body and your brain. Your brain is part of your body. That's redundant. I repeated myself. I just repeated myself and repeating myself. That was redundant too. Redundant. That's the word, redundant. Also, when you focus on your breathing, you turn your attention away from stress and worries and toward being calm and relaxed. This article is so smart. Let's find out who wrote the article. Oh, Claire, of course it was a woman. Only kidding. Only kidding, guys. We know you're really smart. We know you're really smart. We do know you're really smart. We know things are more important to you than pride. We do. We know you're really smart, guys. Claire Hernandez. Oh, you did the art though, guys. Daniel Wiseman and Claire Hernandez. Excellent article, Claire. And the artwork, Daniel, superb. Artwork, superb, Daniel. I love it. I love the artwork, honestly. So much better than the artwork we had when we were growing up. Except for in that California book, right? Remember that? Remember the artwork in that California book? Oh, and that's an old book. Oh, I love that book. You know, the one that my family looted me for. Sorry, early birds, but sometimes there's a lot of stress in my life. But this is how you handle it. This is how you handle it. You do something you love. Or you can laugh out loud. Look for reasons to laugh. You know what? I think I told you this once before, but I'm not sure. In my class, to show the value of laughter, in my positive psychology class, to show my students the value of laughter, I had a video of a infant who was laughing just because his dad was playing with the zipper. So every time the dad must have been in a mood, because zippers aren't that funny, but kid must have been in a mood. And you could look for it, laughing baby zipper. I think you might be able to find it. It's like 2 minutes where the infant doesn't stop laughing. And if you don't chuckle, look for the dark triad. Look in my philosophical class about the dark triad if you don't laugh at that, okay? Chuckle to yourself or laugh out loud. If you're not in the mood, smile first, and that can get things started. Tell a joke to someone nearby, but make sure it's a good joke. Nobody wants to hear a bad joke. Then everybody feels, awkward. Laughing makes you feel good, often by making bonds stronger with family and friends. It does, not often. If you are laughing, and in fact, it is the third most important thing to men, is it's not so much laughter as much as it is being able to have a good time with somebody. Third most important thing to men is that they can laugh with their partner. Yeah. So figure out how to get laughing. It also reduces stress and boosts your immune system. So watching a video that makes you laugh boosts your immune system. It means that your immune system helps you fight colds and flu and viruses and helps you have energy in the morning, right? So that's your immune system. Fast do you get up and running and going, and how often are you sick, right? So laughter helps you feel less sick. I said I called this cells, and I should have called this whatever it is that we're talking about. Another science day, but maybe laughter is the best medicine, or called it something else. Because we're only going to get to this, almost, probably. We'll get to some cell stuff. Remember, lots of times my titles are premonitions of what's coming. I was supposed to get to this yesterday anyway. And I'm all done with my excuses. In fact, some scientists think that laughing may be almost as good for you, as good for your health as exercise is. And it is. It's better for your, well, I mean, exercise is really good, but remember, you didn't see Jesus lifting weights. You didn't see Jesus going out for a jog. Why? Because he had enough to do to keep himself fit. And I'm just using that as an example, right? Maybe you don't know Jesus, but just think of somebody in the olden days. They were plowing the fields, right? They were cooking. They were cleaning the house. They were doing things, so they didn't exercise. So exercise is good for you if you're not doing anything else. But my advice is do all kinds of other things that keep you physical, and then you don't have to plan for exercise. Now that's not always easy. I have to exercise. I do have to exercise, because what am I doing? Sitting on my butt all the time, right? As a teacher, I can't really get out. If I'm teaching, I can't really get out and, take a walk. And it's been hard for me to exercise that way anyway, with, so much that's been going on between COVID and all kinds of other things that I've talked about, right? So I have to exercise. I'm not saying that your life is bad if you have to exercise. I'm just saying that if you were doing if we could do a whole bunch of other things, like spend a couple minutes, watching a video making us laugh, we might not have to exercise. Plus, on top of that, laughing really hard actually is good exercise for your core. Think about how your belly hurts when you laugh really hard. That's muscles. Those are muscles that are hurting. That's exercise for your core. Count your blessings. So did you see that? Did you see it? These pictures are so funny, aren't they? Right? So this guy laughing, ha 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 ha. Go ahead, it's good for you. And then the next picture right here. If you read the title, it says Count Your Blessings. And what does it say here? I've got 8 so far. I'm going to change the name of this. It's not going to be about cells. This is going to be about getting ready to go to school, which I should have talked about tomorrow. But we're going to talk about cells tomorrow. Wah, wah. No, I think I'm going to make it interesting. I think I've made it interesting. And now this will give me time to make sure it's really interesting for you. I think I could do that. I think we'll do cutouts. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do cutouts for cells tomorrow. So if you have any construction paper, we're going to do cell cutouts tomorrow. Count your blessings. Thinking about positive things before you go to bed can help you get a good night's sleep. When you're winding down, try to remember all the nice things that happened during the day, even if everything didn't go perfectly. Write down all the happy moments in a list, then add things you're grateful for. So this is good. So this is very, very good. There is a study that is called, it studies what's called 3 good things. 3 good things. And at the end of every day, a teacher asks you, what went well today? And name 3 things or 1 thing for younger kids that went really good for you today. And if you can only name one thing when you're really little, that's great. But as you get older, try and make it three things before you go to bed. And we have seen the greatest long term changes, increases in happiness, and decreases in depression from writing down three good things that happened to you, or telling a teacher, or having a teacher ask you. You might even suggest that to your teacher, right? Maybe at the end of the day, I've heard it's really good for our immune system, and it is, to say what went well today. Maybe you suggest that to your teacher. Wait until you get to know your teacher a little bit. You don't want to be the first day, hey, this is what I want to say. Maybe I should teach the class because I know three good things. As you go through each day, look for moments to add to your list that evening. And then, here, doing this may help you notice positive things happening around you. If you're thinking that you have to write down three good things and you're trying to think of them throughout the day, what are you looking for? Good things. Good things. You're looking for good things. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing to look for good things. It is. Because research shows, right there, it says, research shows that people who count their blessings before going to bed often sleep more soundly, have increased peace of mind, and tend to be kinder and happier. Now, we've read the children's Bible in here, and I'm going to take that one step further. Do you know what I do? Not every night, but I was doing it to get in practice for a while, like for a whole summer. I would lay down in bed and I would tell God, if you want to tell me anything, I'll be listening. I know. Who better to listen to than God? He's got some interesting stuff to say. He does. So that's what I do. So maybe when you go to bed, especially if you're having trouble thinking, you think of three good things and then you ask God, God, do you want to talk to me? If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. And you know what? If you fall asleep when God's talking to you, do you think it matters? Do you think it matters if you fall asleep when God is talking to you? No, of course it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter if you fall asleep when God is talking to you. Why? Because he can talk to you in your dreams, can't he? He can talk to you and tell you things in your dreams. And maybe sometimes it's easier for God to talk to you in your dreams. That's what I thought anyway. I think, I think that's so cute. Daniel, you did a great job with these drawings right here. I've got 8. 8 good things. 8 blessings. Use your imagination. You're the boss of your thoughts. Pick good ones. Oh, don't you just love that? You're the boss of your thoughts. Pick good ones. You guys did an excellent job on this article. I just can't say enough about it. Use your imagination. Relax by using free moments to let your mind create imaginary places, people, and things. Think of a fantastical new creature. Right? He's thinking of fantastical new creatures, isn't he? Or design wings to fly with in your imagination. Or design them, right? Or let your mind travel to a real place or event that you find calming. Maybe you had a great vacation, right? Maybe you had some great vacation in the sunshine and you just remember playing in the sand and finding shells on the beach. I just love doing that. I find that to be so relaxing. And also, did you know that there are just a multitude, that means a lot, of minerals in the ocean, in that salt water? The salt has all kinds of minerals. And one of the things I noticed whenever I went to the ocean, because I've been able to go to the ocean kind of a lot for somebody, I think, for not living there, I noticed my skin feels so unbelievably soft. And that's the reason why we put salt in our water. But the thing about that salt is it just doesn't have the same minerals that the ocean salt has. Maybe I should add minerals to my salt. Do you think? I do have a bottle of minerals. I was adding it to my water. I haven't been adding it to my water lately. I think I'm going to start doing that again. I'm going to start adding those minerals. I get nervous because there's lots of hard metals in minerals. Like iron is a mineral, right? And there's hard metals. And metals aren't good for our bodies. So I'm not quite sure. I don't really fully understand the mineral thing. I'm thinking about my hair because it looks kind of silly. But I went out in the rain last night. My hair just got ringlets of curls. Remembering real details, visit a favorite relative's home or a cool stream. That means remembering every small part about it. Think of every detail. That is really good for your mind. This is the smartest article. I just can't believe how smart this article is. Take deep breaths as you relax and explore a real or imaginary world. Try kindness. Do an act of kindness at least once every day. Make it a habit. Hold the door for someone. Say hello to kids who look like they could use a smile. Ask if you can sit with someone who is sitting alone. Compliment people on their good ideas or on nice things they did. Being kind to others can help them and you feel good. You are so right, Claire. You're so right, Claire. Have a great school year. All these tips and tricks can get you in the right mindset for school and set you up for success and happiness. So go for it. Get the supercomputer in your head ready for action. Feed it new skills and information and make your upcoming school year a great one. Isn't that true? We're running around with these supercomputers in our hands when all we need to realize is that we have a real supercomputer in our head. It's such a supercomputer that all kinds of scientists are trying to imitate our brain, right? That's what AI is, artificial intelligence. They try to get computers to learn to work like our brain. Why? Because our brain is a supercomputer. This is Dr. Annette Feravich. Thanks for joining me here in the classroom. I'm the teacher. This has been the Early Bird Classroom. I have a premonition. My premonition is that tomorrow we're going to talk about cells. For sure. Thanks for joining me.